In this video, we're going to talk about normal stitches and twisted stitches, how to figure out which one is which, how to untwist a twisted stitch, or how to twist a normal stitch if you need to, if your chart says. The reason I made this video, there are actually several reasons. So one of the reasons is that I use this kind of unconventional Eastern granny style combination, continental uncrossed style of knitting, and many people who use other styles of knitting for some reason think that all my stitches have to be twisted. They are not, and we're going to be talking about that. And the other reason is that many beginners don't even understand what is a twisted stitch. And I saw those posts on social media like, look, I made this sweater, are my stitches twisted? So the beginners don't even understand which one is which. So we're gonna dive deeper into that and figure out which one is twisted, which one is not. Let's take a look at this knitted fabric. This is what basically normal stitches should look like. And you see some of them are wonky because I didn't wash it yet. The fabric, it's not blocked, it's not washed, it's just right off the needles, and some are wonky, some are uneven, but they're not twisted. If you look at any stitch, you see that any stitch has those two legs, left one and right one. Okay. And these legs, they basically sit on the same level, like right here. They are parallel. Okay, so two legs, and they are kind of sitting on the same level. So when it happens, that means that stitch is not twisted. Now, let's take a look at other stitches on this fabric. So let's analyze. Oh, maybe this one is twisted. It's kind of wonky. These two legs are on the same level, and we will see it even better when we wash this fabric and when we block it. They are still on the same level. Let's look for another one. Is this one twisted? No. So all these stitches are okay. They are normal because their legs are parallel, even if they look uneven. That doesn't mean that this stitch is crossed or twisted. It means that the fabric needs to be blocked. Okay? But what does the twisted stitch looks like? Now, try to spot a twisted stitch here. And the right answer is this one. Why is that? How do we know? Because see, when I try to stretch out a regular stitch, these legs, they just remain parallel, okay? But when I try to stretch out this stitch, it's visible that one leg, this one, kind of stands closer to you, and the legs are basically crossed. See? I try to stretch it out, and I see that these legs are crossed, okay? Now this leg is closer to you. It's closer to the knitter, and they should be parallel if you want an untwisted stitch. Okay, let's try to find another one. I have to look very carefully. Okay, I found it. This one is twisted. I try to stretch it out, and I see that this leg stands in front. Now, I knit in those combination continental Eastern granny style, and this is what my knit stitches look like. I just knit through the back loop. This is what my knit stitches. Nice non-twisted stitch. And let's say I've lost a stitch. for example, like this, and I don't remember which way to put it back on the needle, and I just did it that way. Okay, now I see that it's twisted. Well, it wasn't my intention, but this is what happens. This leg stands out, it stands closer to you, to the knitter, and you have this cross. And when you try to stretch it out a little bit, you see this X situation. Okay, let's say it was a mistake. Let's say you didn't want it. But what if you want that twisted stitch? For example, if a chart says so. Here's what you need to do. The first way is just to go through the front loop and grab the yarn the usual way. Do you get that twist? Yes, you do, because now this leg is closer to you. And if you try to stretch it a little bit, you see that this one remains kind of standing in front. Okay? The other way to twist a stitch is just to turn it, go your usual way. Okay? You've got this twist again. So this leg is in front. Okay? So if you go through this loop, you have this one closer to you. If you go the other way through that loop, now the left leg is closer to you. See, this twist is kind of symmetrical, if this is what you wanted. Okay, so the idea of a twisted stitch is just to make one of the legs stand closer to you. I mean, shift the leg. Shift the leg and go through that leg. That's basically the idea of the twist. So take a moment, try to turn your stitch this way or that way, to the right, to the left, and still go through that back loop. And you will see what happens. And if you're confused, just don't forget to stretch it out and compare with other stitches. If you stretch it out a little bit and the legs are still parallel, then it means that it's a normal stitch. But if the legs are crossed, that means that the stitch is twisted. I hope that it makes sense. Now let's say I made a mistake a few rows ago, and you see those were normal, this is normal, okay, the legs are parallel, but this one is twisted. Okay, so I want to fix that mistake. What should I do? I need to grab my crochet hook and I need to undo a few stitches until I reach that one which is wrong. Okay, I'm just undoing that, and see, it even started turning because the stitches are lazy. They want to sit in the most convenient position. So I turned it. It was twisted. Now I turned it the way I want, and I just grab those bars that I've got from the stitches that went off. Okay. So I just need to see what my normal stitches look like, and I just need to respect that rhythm. The stitches will tell you what to do. So you just need to recreate that chain. One stitch above another, above another, above another. That's basically it. And you return it to the needle and keep on knitting, respecting the way your stitches sit. Just in case, let's do it one more time. I found another twisted stitch right here. This leg steps out,
So I'm gonna undo 1, 2, and I've reached this twisted one. So I'm gonna turn it the right way, grab my crochet hook. So this one was the stitch. Let's say this was the stitch that needs to be turned. And now go 1. Respect the way your all stitches are. Okay, make sure that they all are untwisted. Okay, just check this chain out. This is what it should look like. And return the stitch back to the needle. In my case, the back leg is the leading leg, and I continue knitting this way. So I hope that it makes sense, and please let me know if you had any comments.